Hi everyone, thanks so much for joining me here today on the Dahlia Society. My name's Kristen, if we haven't met, and I'm here today to show you all of my makes for October and a bit of November as well. Are you a subscriber? If not, I would really appreciate if you click that subscribe button and that notification bell. That way you'll never miss out on one of my episodes. It is the first calm day we've had for quite a few days. We've had some really nasty wind, lots and lots of rain, which is great for the garden, but it meant that I had to film inside, and I know a lot of you guys love it when I film out in my garden, and I really wanted to show you these beautiful sweet peas because they are in full bloom at the moment, just about in full bloom, but the smell wafts around. It's just so beautiful, but really it feels so good to be outside in the sunshine. So I've got a few things to show you, a lot of things I've made that I haven't shown you guys yet. There's a few things here that you'll remember from previous episodes, but I think you're going to really enjoy what I've got here to show you. Before I get started I wanted to say a huge thank you to those of you that have contributed to my coffee account. It really means the world to me. It does help me to bring you more extra content more often. Thanks so much for that. Now let's get on with what I have to show you. There's quite a few beautiful things I'm just dying to wear because, of course, our spring can be very up and down here in Melbourne. We can have really, really warm days up to 30 degrees and really cold days. We've had a couple of 12-degree days, which is very chilly for this time of year. So normally I have a lot more kind of sleeveless or short sleeve things on this time of year, but today I've got a classic favorite shirt of mine, which is the Liesl & Co gallery tunic top in a beautiful linen check from the wonderful Cloth Edit. It's lovely to wear, really lovely fabric. I've washed and worn this quite a few times now, but it's a great classic style tunic style pattern, but this fabric just washes and wears really lovely. And my first make to show you here is another Cloth Edit fabric. Now this is that beautiful Wonderland fabric, and I know a lot of you guys, when I showed you this fabric, we were just stunned by how beautiful, picturesque that scene is on the front. And you can see why it's been called Wonderland. It just brings back those memories of Alice in Wonderland in the garden. And it is a beautiful Japanese cotton, lovely kind of dobby effect. I'll show you up close so you can see just how stunning that fabric is. But I had 2 panels, and it is sold by the panel. So you're getting a 75 centimetre long panel at about a 145 width. So I bought 2 of those panels, and I was just thinking how I wanted to keep the print all in one. I didn't want to cut it up and have seams running through it. I wanted to really showcase that print. So I had to go and think back through my patterns, what I had that was just an all-in-one tunic style dress. And this is the Tsuzi. This was a perfect amount of fabric for this dress. It has got that kind of racer style cut-in sleeve, which is a really lovely element actually, one that I hadn't worn in the past, but I think once you find that perfect bra with that racer back, it really means you can wear that kind of cut-in sleeve without worrying about straps falling out. So I really love this. I've just done it with a binding, with a bias binding, and yeah, that was the perfect amount of fabric to use. But this is going to be a really simple summer frock for me to wear. Now the fabric itself is lovely and light, being 100% cotton. It's just going to be the perfect thing to wear on those warm summery days. I love a good Sewciety patterns. They are just so nice on the body. I've made quite a few of their dresses. This one is an extra large, I think it was the size in that, and just perfect, really simple. I've actually lengthened it a bit. Normally that knee length, I've just given it that little extra 10 centimeters of length. Because I didn't want to waste any of this fabric. I just think it's too beautiful to waste, but Really lovely, simple dress. When you think about using panels of fabric, really think about keeping that panel and print all in one without, cutting it up and separating it. That way you will really showcase that beautiful fabric. But love that. Got a little tag in there. Beautiful. These little tags were from Lindsay at Sew to Grow. They do have quite a few packs of these different tags, but so nice to keep in the stash when you want to sew a little label on. And something like that I think is just so special and beautiful. But really happy with how the bondi has come up. My next make was for the Sewciety hashtag. I went a bit crazy on all the shirt sewing. I know you guys loved getting into that shirts. Tongue tie. How can you not say Sewciety? It's Sewciety or Sewciety. Always getting it muddled up. But the Sewciety hashtag went off with a bang. Congratulations to all the winners. We had some beautiful entrants. So many talented creative sewers over on Instagram that really got into this. A lot of first time shirt sewers, which was fantastic as well. And I think everyone realizes now that the collar and buttons aren't as hard to do as what you may have once thought. If you're not an advanced sewer and you've never tackled a collar and placket before, they're not as bad as you think. Now this is a fantastic beginner style shirt pattern because you don't have the collar stand. You just got that camp style collar, which is a real kind of 70s look. I love the way it sits nice and flat on the body. But the Helen's Closet Gilbert is just such a classic, beautiful style crop shirt. You can see why it's so popular all over the internet. You do have the option of having the long kind of bell-shaped sleeve. I went for the short sleeve and I went for the tie front as well, because I actually want to wear this with a pair of high-waisted wide leg jeans. So when you're wearing a wide leg jean or pant, you really don't want to have a wide top, a long wide top. You want to have something a bit more cropped and boxy just to set that wide leg off. So this is the perfect length. It ties beautifully that length at the waist. I made a size 14, which I'm always a 14 in Helen's Closet patterns. I really love that her patterns just fit perfectly. I don't have to make any adjustments. I went for the B cup range in the 14. Most of you guys know that sewing cups are different to bra size cups. So if you're a D or an E cup, doesn't necessarily mean that you'll be that in sewing. I'm a D cup in normal bras, but I'm a B cup in sewing. So when you have a variance between upper bust and full bust, I think it's more than 3 centimeters. That's when you normally need to sort of grade up for your bust size. So it's a really great thing to learn because that way you get that perfect fit as well. So this fabric was one I bought a few months back now. It was from My Design and that was a beautiful Lady McElroy cotton lawn print. It's just stunning. Look at all the girls all over it. It's got that really kind of 70s hippie vibe to it. And I'd set it off with a little green button as well. I didn't have quite enough fabric. I think I had about 1.3 or 1.4 meters and I decided to do the inner facing in the red. I think it contrasts really nicely, but I love a good burrito method and Helen explains it really well. If you haven't made a shirt with a burrito method before it, which encases all that facing the yoke there, it is a really great way to make a shirt and make it really neat as well, all finished off beautifully. But love that little curved tie. If you haven't got a Gilbert pattern, I would highly recommend buying one because it is a really classic little style blouse or long sleeve shirt for every season. I think this would be beautiful as well with a long skirt for summer, being at that sort of it's not necessarily really shortly cropped, it's just that nice waist length right on where the button sits on your jeans and just sort of blouses over a little bit, so it's not, you're not going to be wearing a sort of a crop top feel. I think it's just a perfect pattern and I'm really happy with this fabric. I just love anything with it black background and a red print because anything to wear a bit of red lippy with, I'm all over it. I love how vibrant it makes me feel. So that one also has a little cute tag, made with love, and I just think adding a little label to things just puts that little finish off things and makes them just more appealing. With this one as well, with that interfacing where the button placket is, I used a double-sided tape or a heat and bond tape just to make it sit really flat and nice before I did that top stitching. So that's another little hint and tip. If you find that pinning doesn't always necessarily make it nice and flat for you to top stitch, think about using a heat and bond tape on the inside of your placket there and just pressing it down before you stitch. It's a really great little tip. So that was my Gilbert shirt. Another shirt for the Sewciety hashtag that I finally got to make was a wonderful pattern called the Martha shirt from Starlight Patterns. One of our entrants, I think Haley, which was prize number 5, she actually made the Martha in a really nice bright cotton print. I actually wanted to make it with some leftover silk that I had from last Christmas. This is a cotton silk blend, and I love the fit of this. It's a trapeze style over shirt. It's not too big and wide. I think being in a softer silk fabric, it gives it that bit of drape. If you're wanting to really play up that trapeze effect, think about using a cotton or a linen. That would really give it that really dynamic kind of angular effect. But you'll see at the back it's got a really nice pleat, and the back has got like an angular stitching. It goes up like almost like a triangle shape with a flat top there, and it really allows you then to put mix and match fabrics. I have seen on Instagram a lady that's made a beautiful one of these with a lace insert, and she's used 2 different fabrics for the back and a different collar as well, and that sort of 3-piece effect looks stunning on, and it really allows you to be a bit more creative with your maybe using up stash busting, using up some scraps of fabric as well. So I've got a really nice piece of a chiffon or georgette print that I wouldn't mind putting a bit of black lace with, or a bit of black linen. So that's one I would definitely think about making another Martha. But yeah, nice and simple, and a really great fit. Size 14 in style, like always, fits me really well. It's just got the grown on sleeves, so no set-in sleeves there. So if you're wanting a shirt without set-in sleeves, that's a really nice one to make, but very simple. Don't be worried about that back panel. That's quite easy to do as well. I think a lot of people are a little bit scared off by Starlight's lack of really elaboration on instructions. But if you are a fairly keen sewist, more of an intermediate sewist, you won't have a problem with a lot of their patterns because they are pretty much self-explanatory. You do get visual diagrams like drawings as well as step-by-step instructions. So I think they have really lifted their game on their instructions. And I just love a Starlight pattern. I'm a real addict. As soon as they have one of their sales on, I am all over it. And now they do have the option to do A0 printing on a lot of their new patterns as well. So that one was a lovely make, and it's such a pretty fabric for the seasonal time of year, Christmas. I love wearing red. Another fantastic pattern, you can see I've already washed and worn this. It's the Lucian shirt from I Am Patterns. Another really simple shirt without the collar stand, really simple little collar to make. Another great beginner sewist shirt pattern as well. Another Lady McElroy beautiful viscose print this time. This is from a brand new fabric store in Canberra called Weft and Warp Fabrics. They do stock a lot of Lady McElroy fabrics. I think this may have sold out, but I think they're getting a brand new range of their Lady McElroy fabrics in very shortly as well. Some of the prints are absolutely stunning. That one I've just done the normal sleeve with a kind of a large cuff on the bottom, and you can make that in a few different lengths as well. You can make the shirt dress in that, but just a really classic overshirt style. Nice and floaty, that viscose lawn. If you haven't sewn with that Lady McElroy viscose chalet lawn, it is just beautiful to sew with, but so luxurious and soft to wear, and it lets you breathe lovely as well. It's really, really nice fabric, but I adore that print. I think that Lady McElroy has really got something unique going with their prints and with their illustration on their fabrics as well. So colours are just gorgeous, don't you think, with that mauve and the navy background, but really love wearing that too. I did make a couple more I Am Patterns because I Am Patterns was one of the great sponsors from our Sewciety hashtag. And this is the I Am Irma. The Irma I made from a beautiful viscose fabric that was the crane print from, I think they called it Storks, but it's definitely cranes, from Fabric Store Online. And I think this fabric may have sold out too. I did get it at the start of the year, but I decided to shorten the sleeve to kind of an elbow length, put that wide elastic, the birds are out, the wide elastic cuff I really love wearing that around the bottom of the sleeves as well, and it gives that kind of nice puff definition when it brings it all in. And I love that kind of high-low effect, that and a beautiful pleat on the back is a little bit more fiddly with the button placket. I decided I didn't like it buttoned up to the neck. I've seen it on models, it looks stunning, but personally on me, I like a little bit of an open neck. That you have got the option of wearing it buttoned up to the neck or unbuttoned as well. And it is beautiful in that dress style, the long sleeve. You do have the option to make the puff kind of dramatic sleeve or just a simple sleeve with that cuff and placket at the bottom. But yeah, that's a really pretty fabric. I love that little pop of hot pink as well. And aren't the little shell buttons beautiful too? These were from Cloth Edit as well. I think she's got a beautiful range of buttons. If you like a really special little button, they're not expensive either. They're really, really lovely. And she's put a lot of thought into the buttons in her online store there too. Now, earlier on in the month of October, I made a brand new pattern release that was from Pattern Emporium. It was called the Meet You There dress. This is the first woven pattern they've had out since, I think, they had a jumpsuit out at the start of the year. So when they bring out a woven pattern, I think it takes off really well because they are really specialised in knit patterns. So I love the way Kate does her lookbook as well. And she shows you all the different ones that she's made and worn too. So I made a long length version and a shorter length version. This was from, the fabric was from Blackbird Fabrics in Canada. In Australia here, it only took about 2 weeks to get here, which is brilliant service. And our dollar, I think, is very similar at the moment. So you haven't got a big exchange rate there difference. So very, very reasonable postage as well. So I can highly recommend ordering from Blackbird Fabrics here in Australia. Another little tag from Lindsay at Soda Grey. This one's called I Rock This Frock. I love all these labels and little sayings. But I've done the elbow length sleeve, nice little puff there. This round viscose fabric is just so pretty because you've got the little cats all over it. You've got the beautiful liliums as well, which is another favourite flower I love growing in the garden, and the ferns, and I just think it's really special and pretty to wear. And I've done it just that little bit under the knee. I've also added in extra long waist ties, which this pattern does give you the option to put the extra waist ties in. And I highly recommend that if you like to give yourself a bit of shape. If you find that a lot of these tier dresses are a bit boxy and swingy and you'd like to give yourself that waist definition, definitely think about adding on a tie, extra long tie that you can sort of wrap around the back and tie at the front, or just do at the back. Or even make yourself a little fabric belt, works well too. But done the 2 tiers on that. That one is I think I shortened the bodice a little bit. I think it took about 5 centimeters off that just to make it a tiny bit more empire waist. And that one I made in a size 14. Done that lovely low scoop neck. And the next version I made was in a really, really pretty boho fabric from Pit Trading. Very, very light viscose, almost like a cheesecloth, this fabric. I've done the normal crew neck on that one. The regular the regular waist bodice length, which was a tiny bit long for me, so I decided to shorten that. And I've done the full length maxi version with the same waist ties as well. Love wearing this, love twirling around. It's really light and floaty. It's beautiful. I've worn it twice already. So any excuse now, after being in lockdown and being in sweatpants all winter, any excuse to wear a dress for me, I am all over it. I don't care anymore. I just love the way it makes you feel really nice, put together. Yeah, the nice little yoke at the back, shoulder detail there. You can always add a different plain fabric or a check, something to mix and match, so it gives you the opportunity for that. But really great pattern, the Meet You There dress. I have got an affiliate link on that below if you haven't made Pattern Emporium patterns before. Brilliant, excellent instructions step by step. You get the visuals, the photos, you get the lookbook, you get video tutorials, and a lot of these tiers were made with clear elastic, so there is no gathering with basting stitching. I think that is just such an annoying way to make gathers now. This clear elastic method is just the one I want to do because it's so perfect. You get that gather really nice and even all the way through. Yeah, so really happy with that. I've top stitched all the gathered layers as well around the top of each layer, and the top stitching really gives it that nice flat look too. So there's extra little things you can do to sort of take it up a notch. This tag is called Kiss My Sass. And I try and make sure that the tags match the colour in the garment some way as well. So yeah, really, really pretty fabric, and love the Meet You There dress. We're getting there, we're halfway through. This was a beautiful dress that was a fabric release, brand new fabric from Sew to Grow Fabrics. Lindsay We all love Lindsay from Sew to Grow. She's from Queensland. She brought out a brand new fabric release that's all retro inspired prints. I think she pretty much sold out on that whole release day. It went off with a bang. She had a release night, like a little party there. I watched her live on Instagram. If you don't follow Lindsay, I suggest you jump on her Instagram and follow her Instagram account, because she does a lot of lives, a lot of sew-alongs, and it was just so nice to be part of that group of ladies. I felt like I was there watching that party, watching that release and seeing her make her speeches. That really brought a bit of a tear to my eye, because I just think it's so special to see the love she's put into this fabric range. This is the Come Together print. It's a beautiful retro daisy print. Love the fabric. The fabric weight is quite a weighty rayon. She wanted to make sure she went for that heavier weight rayon. It's just so nice to sew with and so lovely and drapey to wear. That was the Sydney Sew to Grow shirt dress. Fantastic pattern. If you haven't made a shirt dress, the Sew to Grow Sydney one is the one to start with, because you don't have to worry about fitting buttons. It's just nice and loose, and you have a nice tie belt there to draw it all in. So really great instructions, a nice split side hem. A lot of people went on to buy that pattern because they saw how beautiful it came up in this fabric. So yeah, I think she is getting a lot more of these fabrics in. She may already had them in stock, so I'll link that fabric below as well if you're interested. There's a few really way out retro designs there, and I do think she has international postage as well if you're interested in getting some of this sent overseas. So that's one of my favorites from earlier on in the month. This fabric is so special, and I was very, very lucky to also be gifted this fabric from Cloth Edit from Gabrielle. It's a linen silk print. It is divine. If you haven't worn or sewn with linen and silk, you are really missing out, because it's just gorgeous. It feels like kind of a lawn almost. It's got that beautiful sheen. It's like the softest linen you'll ever find, but with that little bit of structure. The silk gives it the softness and the linen gives it the structure, but it's been washed already. It doesn't fade like a normal linen would, keeps its color there. That is the Rita shirt dress from Named Patterns. I've seen this for quite some years now on a lot of people, and always admired that classic kind of, reminds me of safari suit style dress, the pockets on the front. The drawstring waist is fantastic if you like a shaped waist, but you're scared of doing a fitted shirt dress because of the buttons. It can put you off when you have a fitted shirt dress with buttons at the front, because I'm always worried about them popping open and gaping. So I love the fact that I can draw that in. It's a really nice A-line shape. You've got the mitered corners and side splits there, and the camp style collar again, which I'm just loving, and that really nice cuff detail. I love this pattern, and I definitely want to make another one of these. And I know a lot of people that have done YouTube reviews in the past have gone on to make 3 or 4 of these, maybe in a plain colour and a print as well. And you can also do them in the soft, like rayons, viscose and cottons. But yeah, love the linen and silk in this. And this is the Noosa linen silk print. I am not sure. I think Gabrielle may have sold out of this pattern, but she's got a couple more in her on her online store. Some beautiful prints there too. So this is also another label from Lindsay at Sew to Grow. It's called Fabric Nerd, and I've just stitched that down, and I just think that ties in really nicely with the colour there as well. So I can't wait to wear this again. This is one of my favourites. I also love wearing this with like little Converse trainers as well. So if you don't want to be dressing it up too much, you want something to sort of run around in and casual down, this is simple enough that you can do that, or you could really dress it up as well. So it's a great little pattern. I think I made the size 44 in that. And when you get those kind of Euro sizing numbers, they can always throw me a little bit. I never know whether to go up too high, because sometimes if you go up too high, you get, you know, the big shoulders. And I think because I knew it had quite a bit of ease, I looked at the finished garment measurements and it helped me decide on a size. So the 44 was ideal. So I love the Rita shirt dress. This is another fantastic pattern from Pattern Emporium. It is the Entice Me dress, and it was another one I was a little bit scared of making because it's quite a clingy dress, but I made it in a nice weighty fabric that was from Fabric Hunt, and it's I think it's Mind the Maker cotton organic jersey. And it's a beautiful chestnut color. It's quite a weighty cotton. It's probably more that I would wear maybe more for winter or autumn. It's a little bit thick to wear in summertime, but I wanted that weight to give it that body, and that way it wouldn't be too clingy in those sort of middle areas. But Entice Me is a wonderful building block. You can get lots of different variations on this. You can get a cowl back add-on. You can get lots of different sleeve variations, different necklines as well. You can get a ruched add-on pack. That's an angular ruche pack as well, and a maternity pack. So it's a really great little classic dress from Pattern Emporium. I think you would all love to have in the pattern stash. These are little tags I had made up quite some time ago. Just Dahlia Sewciety. I had some little logo branded pattern little labels made up to match as well. Yeah, because it's a little bit more of a shaped pattern, I went up to the 16, and I really regretted that because I found I had to take quite a bit in. It was just a bit too gapey around the middle, and that's the thing, sometimes when you have that fitted pattern you really need to look at the way the pattern's designed. It's not designed to be a baggy pattern, it's designed to fit. So really think twice if you're going to size up. I would definitely consider making a 12 first, but I really regretted that. I had to take quite a bit in off the shoulders and off the waist as well. You've got that nice seam at the back that gives you that shaping around the curve of the back too. Love the fabric, it's a really lovely weight. Another dress that I made, the last thing I have to show you, is a Wardrobe by Me Miri dress, and everybody loved this one on my autumnal dress episode. That beautiful wrapped around neck gives you that lovely crossover bodice without any gaping at all. It's a really lovely classic style fit and flare knit dress pattern, but this is gorgeous. I want to make a long length version in this one for summer. I think it'd be beautiful in a lightweight ITY or jersey. This is our beautiful fabric as well that was gifted to me from Pattern Scissors Frock. It's that beautiful jacquard fabric, really lovely print, self-printed fabric. Now I have seen this same fabric from My Design. She has got a gorgeous turquoise and purple color, so if you love this fabric as well and you're not into the olive or autumnal colors, My Design do have it too. But Pattern Scissors Frock stock this beautiful organic jersey fabric, and love the green. I'm a really big person on green. I think it's great to wear for all year round, especially in autumn with a nice pair of tan boots and maybe a little cardigan over the top. It's a great pattern for all year round as well. So it was a very busy month and a half for me. We've had a couple of pattern releases there. We've had some fabric releases. We've had our Sewciety hashtag. I am just dying now to get into some Christmas planning and sewing, because with the weather warming up, I'm thinking all about dresses. I've made quite a few shirts now, and now I'm wanting dresses. I'd love to know what your favorite make for October, November was. Yeah, write it down in the comments. Let me know which one you love the best. And yeah, I really enjoy reading all your comments. I try and get back to them as soon as I can. It does get hard sometimes to keep up with them, but I think it's a great way of getting to know my viewers. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed this episode, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. That would be really appreciated. And I'll be back very shortly with a fabric haul and also some Christmas plans and some Vlogmas episodes. So thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye.